on the brighter side, right? If you look at the entrepreneurship has gone through the roof. Now people jump into entrepreneurship for a variety of reasons. I also understand a lot of people probably leave also very early because एक दो साल में पता चल जाता है, it's not as rosy, as exciting as it looks like. It's a 10-year commitment with most likely outcome is failure and nothing to show for it, right? But people are still coming in. A lot of interesting companies are being built. So there is some, inherent, I call it either human nature or culturally, like that strong drive is also there, which is, coming out in huge force now.
Yeah, I think my firm belief is that nothing makes you more self-aware than entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
If you really choose to learn from the lesson, right? You may not, success and failure is not guaranteed, but maturity is.
Yeah.
And therefore, if you do not become more mature, then you will never become mature. If you've gone through this journey and not become mature. But the thing is that the reasons people are coming to entrepreneurship is wrong, right? This valuation, this thing, I'll get to come on TV. Yeah. I don't think that's the right thing to chase. But because we are status driven right now, that is what's going to, but that's okay. We might end up finding some subsections who will still continue to maintain the journey and see a turnarounds in their lives because of that. But I think I've seen that you become a better employee even if you tried entrepreneurship for a bit, right?
So let's talk about like what are some of those, like, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be watching this, many of them have probably some interest at some point considering entrepreneurship. What are the fundamental reasons, if you were to distill it down, that you should choose to be an entrepreneur because of, like, you want to do what?
If you think it's going to be fun and all of that, it will not be that. It's a permanent state of crisis. And the only reason you should consider it is that you believe that you have an opinion that you want to prove is right. Mm-hmm. And you were willing to sacrifice everything and anything to achieve that. And it's some kind of a mission that you are going after. And honestly, it's not going to be competition that will drive you. It will not be any of these things. It has to be just you. And it's going to be extremely lonely. It's not going to have a community feeling around that. Ultimately, it's a very lonely pursuit. And the thing is that if you want, I think the reason entrepreneurship is hard because you become the absorber of uncertainty to provide certainty to your customers, to your investors, to your employees. And therefore, when you are the uncertainty absorber, you have to be having a much bigger turmoil that you deal with, right? So, and you will be tested on leadership. You will be tested on leadership every year because whatever you did is not good enough. Right. You will be tested on your ability to storytell, to be able to convince people to join your company, to give you capital. Like, I mean, I'm a philosophy major. I had hard time hiring 2 engineers when I started off, because I have no alumni to reach out to and say, "Aajao."
Right.
And you just have to constantly build your ability to sell. You have to constantly build your ability to execute. You will realize that, oh my God, every year I come to a realization that I'm not good enough at all for whatever I have to do now.
Correct.
So, but imagine this being a permanent state. So I would say if you want something that is going to give you peace, don't pick entrepreneurship.
Right. But on the why you should pick entrepreneurship, perhaps, one thing, a couple of things I observed is, one is sometimes, people feel कि जैसे भी चीज़ें चल रही हैं, I can do it better, and that feeling does not leave you. You keep thinking मैं better कर सकता हूँ. Then that's a good trait. Knowing fully well, then it's going to be much harder. And the reason you may be able to do better, but the path to be able to do that is going to go through everything outline.
I think I can tell you that the only good reason is that by the end of the entrepreneurship journey, you'll have the best content compared to other people who've not been through that.
Worst case, it's a podcast, so from all the stories that come out of that journey.